Hello and welcome back to another episode of No Load Time. My name is Obed Villas, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Obed, good to be with you. The man who sometimes is Obed and sometimes is Superman, depending on when he takes those glasses off
Oh, so
and saves the
so
day.
some may argue that there are
Yeah.
some sort of superpowers involved, but it's just me. It's just me. What's up, dude? How is it going?
I'm doing great. Life is good. Cannot complain. Been having some busy weeks here, but it's all good. It's all right. Summer's here. We've got, Florida SuperCon coming up. We've got San Diego coming up next month. Lots of fun and good things to look forward to here in the summer. Obed, we got a lot of games to talk about.
Got a
My
ton of stuff.
pockets, man. Got some things I gotta buy, some things I'm gonna skip. So
Joel
so
watched all the movies, so you guys, you can refer to Joel's other videos about movies if you want to get your input in that. But real quick, you know what? No, let's do what's ups. But yeah, man, anything new? Just waiting for the cons. I'm guessing.
pretty much. Yeah, like all this, like Go Bits to mention. Make sure you check out on the channel all the other reviews because over this last weekend, pretty much, since we took that little hiatus, got to see Transformers, and I'll just refer you to the video. But hey, it's better than the Michael Bay movies. I think Bumblebee still gets it better, but at the same extent, Bumblebee's more of a standalone character. This one has all the Transformers. Regardless, watch the video, check it out there. Oh, Ben, what's up with you, man? What's been going on? I know you
But
got some fun
dude,
time off,
so
and
yeah, I had a really good week off of work and everything, and um took time to not play Street Fighter 6 as I told you. Because Zelda is the equivalent of a digital control substance. It is absolutely, Joel. You know what? It's dangerous. That
wow.
game is, and you know this is me coming from an incredible 2022 with Elden Ring and God of War and Horizon. So it just makes me so happy. You play this game, dude.
Wow.
It's just so good. So, so I wanted to play Street Fighter. I did not get to play Street Fighter because I played Zelda a ton last week. Like, I don't know how many hours I'm in, dude, and I'm not even halfway through the game. So
It's a long game.
it's ridiculous. Yeah, I love it. I did finish Jedi Survivor. Um, that story takes some turns to possibly its own detriment, but
Mm,
ultimately, um, the ending is very unexpected, but it's also very emotional, which is,
mm.
good.
Okay.
It's good overall. That game is good. It could have done away with a lot of the side quest stuff. Like, it's too, it tries to do too much. I think that if they would have taken the first game and expanded on it and not just giving us just too too much of a denser experience, right? It would have probably been a little bit better. It's good. I don't think it's a 9 like a lot of the outlets put it. It's a solid 8. So
Okay. That's
it's a
still a great
solid 8.
review.
Yeah, it's a solid 8. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was good. It's just that it dragged too much when it came to like the side stuff. So and then the bugs didn't help. So um, other than that, I had some interesting stuff that happened. I mean, one thing, finally, Super Mario's out, so
Hey. Oh
got a
man, I
4K
gotta pick
copy
up
of
my
Mario.
copy.
Hard to find. Like Best Buy was sold out. I had to order through Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah, so at least the local Best Buys, the two that are close to me, were sold out of the 4K version. Target was sold out. Best Buy was sold out. Got it through Amazon. So I have a fun story for you. It happened last week. So I had mentioned, but last time my parents were here, I mentioned it's like, hey, because they love to go and go thrift shopping, right? They go to all the thrift shops and Boys and Girls Club and
Nice.
Salvation Army and all these places, right? So it's like,
Goodwill.
hey, so if you see anything like PlayStation, right, let me know, and Just get it. I'll make it up for you guys. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. So last weekend, the parents came over and I was like, hey, I don't know if this helps, but we found this. So I guess they had talked to one of my cousins, and I was like, oh yeah, you can just take this. I don't use it, right? And they brought me a PS1. Like it's a revision.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a revision to PS1. So it doesn't have the three outputs in the back, but it was pretty
Whoa.
clean. But I still cleaned it up real good, and it's like, okay, let's clean it up. It has a PS. So and by PS1, I don't mean the small one. I mean the square PlayStation
Yeah.
One,
Yeah.
the PlayStation, OG PlayStation. Um, they brought it no cables though, but it had a PS1 controller, like one of the ones with the round edges on it,
Mm-hmm.
DualShock. So I took that puppy up, opened it up, took like 3 pounds of dirt out, cleaned it up real good, put it back together. Give me a little bit of trouble putting it back together, but I got it. It's fine, and it works. So it's like, well, I got
Wow.
no cables, right? I don't. I must have cables. But my PS2 cables are probably in the garage somewhere in a box or something, right? It's like I don't want to go through that right now. I don't have to deal with that. So I asked my daughter, it's like, hey, do you want to go do a trip to our guys over at Cybertron and see what they got? Sure. So I went to Cybertron, and Cybertron, for you guys that don't know, it's a local game shop, retro game shop. So I got the cables there, and got a copy of I think it's pretty good. Hold on.
He's getting up, guys. This is for real. If you're listening to the
So
audio
I
version,
got
he went
a
behind. Here we go.
because
He's
this is
back.
this game, it's not the best one, but it's is near and dear to my heart. I have a soft spot for this game, but it's a long box Street Fighter Alpha,
Wow.
complete in box. So the price was good. Like I could have gotten it cheaper on eBay,
Sure.
but it's like, you know what? It's complete in box. The box looks good. The disc looks good. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and get it now. So I got that, and I got a copy of Sick Rally 2 for Dreamcast that I have seen the previous time that I went. It's like, oh man, I really want to get that Sick Rally because I used to have it for Dreamcast. So I was like, all right, cool. So got those two, and the PlayStation works perfect. Yep. And guess what? I was like, I think I had a memory card somewhere, a PS1 memory card. So I
Sure.
opened my old CD box. Poof, memory card's right there. So I got my memory card. So
Dude.
yeah, man. So it works. It works good. I plugged it in. Everything is plugged in with the other like retro consoles on the TV that's back here. But it works good. So it's
Wow.
just that games are expensive now for
Oh yeah,
PS1.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're rare.
Yeah. They had some really expensive ones over at Cybertron. They had the uh the jewel case alpha. So the jewel case alpha for PS1 is very rare because it has the Japanese cover, and it's not this American cover that they created. It has a Japanese cover, and it's a jewel case. That one was sealed. They had a sealed copy there. It was 380.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had some wild things, but it's everything for the most part. At Cybertron is pretty well kept. The guys are cool, and they had a pretty good selection. So wanted to support them since I had a really good experience last time I went there, and I was like, let's pay them a visit, and hey, it paid off, I guess. So that's my
Awesome.
that's my adventure, and I did watch a movie, and I can confirm,
Avatar.
yeah, I can confirm that the water is indeed big water. I liked it. I liked that quite a bit. It's good. I liked that it's not a rip off like like the first movie. Like the first movie is Pocahontas in space, right? Um, this one feels more, I guess, genuine. I liked it. Visually, like holy crap, Joel!
Oh my gosh,
This is like
dude.
the best wet hair ever. Because that water is like
So just imagine seeing that in high frame rate, dude, with the 3D, like
dude,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, even watching it here, like the
Oh
IMAX
yeah, you got to set up.
yeah, like the IMAX enhanced version with Dolby Vision and whatnot, still looked stunning, dude. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, very good. Like I liked it a lot. I'm wondering where the third one's gonna go, right? I mean, it kind of sets up, right?
Yep.
But it was good. I liked it quite a bit, and I mean, it's interesting that James Cameron's just going all in on this thing instead of just branching out and doing different stuff. But
Right? It doesn't
if
seem like it's him. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if this is what he wants to do, whatever, dude. It was good. I liked it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think my wife was as engaged as she was with the first one because she really
Mhm.
enjoyed the first one. But
It's long,
it's
dude.
3 hour
It's
10 minutes. Yeah,
it's a long
yeah.
movie. And like, to be fair, there's moments that are more exciting than others. Like, I don't know, but I'm with you. It was all right.
Yeah, I liked it. So
Yeah.
I've been meaning to watch Creed 3 because that dropped on Amazon,
I
but
know.
I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to watch it this week.
It's gonna be funny watching that.
Yeah, I'll give you. I'm hopefully next week I'll give you my impressions.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, but it's been a week. I'm refreshed. I mean, it was a tough week coming back from work because I had a pile of work that
Yeah.
I've been. I actually left. Literally left a pile of work. I had to jump
Yes.
back in it, right? But
Yeah, put that Superman cape back on, you
oh,
know? Time to suit up, get back out there.
time to suit up. Hey, you know what? We haven't done this in a few weeks. How about we do a Disney? What are you doing, man? All right, Jill. So I went to the Animal Kingdom last week,
Oh boy.
and all right. Here's I guess it's a mild rant, right? Um, Park was clean. Everything looked good. No incidents. No ghetto scenes. It was a pretty straightforward day. It was good. It was good, right, bro? When they gonna fix those rides? Cause everything was down for like
Oh no.
half a day.
No way.
So we got there probably around 10 o'clock on Wednesday last week, and I was like, you know what? Let's go Flight of Passage right off the bat. Let's go. Let's do it. We didn't do it last time. Let's go in, right? We rode the ride at 12:40
So it
because
broke down while you were in
it
line.
broke down while we were in line. Yep,
Wow.
and we were almost right there, dude. We were at the lab when it broke down, and it broke down for like an
Oh.
hour in there.
Oh no.
Yep. Oh man. I can say that ride is very good though.
It's a great ride.
It's very
It's a
very
great
good.
ride. If you're
Uh,
gonna wait for a ride and be stuck, at least it's that one.
yeah, yeah, that or Rise, right? Like,
Oh, sure,
like
sure.
here's how I would put it. I would do like right now. If you ask me, top three at Disney, right? I haven't been to Tron yet, but if you
Mhm.
ask me right now, top three Disney is Rise, Guardians, Flight of Passage. That's how I put it.
Yeah.
Um, it was good. It was very good. It's a more personal version of soaring. So it's
Hmm.
soaring with haptics basically and 3D.
Your
Uh,
chair's a dual sense.
yeah, your share has the dual sense. You got your goggles, right? It's basically soaring. Like my daughter was next to me and she was like screaming. It's like this feels like soaring. It's like yeah, it does.
Ah,
So like even she got
yeah,
it.
that's cool.
It was good. I really liked that ride. It was very immersive. Really reminded me of the old Epcot rides for some reason. It kind of felt like nostalgic for the old Epcot stuff, which makes me think that this ride may have been a better fit for Epcot than Animal Kingdom. Um,
Mm.
but I would have replaced Mission Space with this ride. Honestly, to be honest with you,
See, but you know why they put it there? Because
they need more
everything in Animal
rides
Kingdom closes early, and they need something at
and
night.
everything breaks. So after that, right, we were like, oh man, it's like we're like we super waited, right? Let's go to the bugs. So we did the tough to be a bug. That one was fine. It's
They
at ten,
never wait for
it's
that.
at 10 minutes. It's at 10 minutes. We went in and out, right? Fine. And after that, I was like, all right, let's go to Safari, right? Oh wait, Safari's closed. Let's go to Expedition Everest. Oh, Expedition Everest closed. Oh, let's go do the dinosaur. Oh, dinosaur's down. Everything was down, dude. And I'm not gonna do the river rapids because I don't like to get wet.
Yeah.
So so I was like, all right, let's do the trail, right? Let's do like the gorilla trail or whatever, and go there. So we get to the safari area. Turns out that by the time we get there, right, because we went ate by the dinosaur thing. By the time we got to the safari had reopened, so there was no wait, right? So we jump in line in a 15-minute wait that it said. It waited about an hour
Wow.
because the ostriches were in the middle of the road and they would not leave. So
Should have done Rafiki's planet thing, whatever.
no, we stayed there. Like we stayed in line for the freaking ostriches to like get out. Ostriches get
Man,
out, and I was like, all right, we rode it, fine. All right. By this time, right, because of all this wasted time, plus it was raining, like all this stuff, we missed the shows. We couldn't make any of the shows, right? Um, all right, let's go see the gorilla trail. We got to the gorillas, and right at the gorillas, they got closed off, and they were sending everyone back. So we were by that by that time, I was like, all right, the Everest reopened. Is a 15-minute wait. Let's go. We get there, that closed again. We made it to
you had
Dinosaur,
the worst timing, dude, to
dude.
go there.
Dinosaur was a 15-minute wait. Let's go to Dinosaur. So everyone was going into freaking Dinosaur because everything else was down, right? So ended up waiting about a half hour, 35 minutes. Not that bad for Dinosaur, but half of the dinosaurs weren't working.
Oh yeah, yeah. That ride's been like that.
It's
That ride is
what a
old, bro.
disappointment, bro. What a disappointment. That was like, if I had to give it a grade, man, and that ride when they opened was one of my favorites rides from one of my favorite rides ever, right? It's like up
Sure.
there. This is when they first opened the park, and then they toned it down, and even when they toned it down, right, it was still good when everything works, but half of the dinos aren't working. So very disappointed. We left there. It's like, all right, let's see if Everest opens and we can go home. This was like already like 6:30 because all the we're going around and waiting and nonsense. So we made it to Everest and they hadn't reopened, but there was already a line forming, but it wasn't that bad. It's like, all right, let's wait it out. My daughter chickened out. And I was like, oh, I don't want to. I was like, I'm good.
Sure.
So she stayed with my mom, and I was like, all right, and me and my wife and my dad, we went and rode it,
Nice.
and we walked like when they opened we waited there for like 10 minutes. They opened and we just went right through it. So no wait. Yeah, that was it, bro. It's like fix your stuff. Honestly,
I I, I told you, dude. Remember, I've ranted about Animal Kingdom before.
yeah.
I've told you, like, I love Animal Kingdom. It's a great park and all. Like, I know people like clown on Epcot. To me, Animal Kingdom is the
Mm,
one that needs the most work because they don't have enough rides. The ones they do are outdated, most of them. Avatar is the best thing that ever happened to that park. It's great.
yeah.
And that's just the experience. Like the park closes super early, so if you get there like at lunchtime or after
Well,
lunch, dude, you're not doing more than three things.
no. Well, the thing is that the park closed at 8, right? But like
Yeah, but like the
safari,
gorilla's gone at like
yeah,
4,
the
and like
safaris and the trails
and the
close at
shows
6. Yeah,
yeah, you can't
shows
do
last
Nemo.
one's at
Like
5.
why is that closed? If the park closes at 8 and you can't see animals, why is the shows not going on later at night?
Yeah,
Makes no sense.
yeah,
All you have is like Everest Dinosaur and Avatar basically like after 5 o'clock.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, we went to the shops after that, and that was it. I mean, it was fine because we got to do everything that we wanted, right? Except the shows. Like I really want to watch the
Sure.
Lion King,
Yeah.
but man, fix your things like Disney, bro. Honestly. Also, breaking news: Christine McCarthy's out. Yup, nub. So, yeah. So it was announced today that Christine McCarthy, Disney CFO, rumored to be Iger's, runner up.
Yeah.
She's out, effective July 1st. So I think that's finally great news, or news in overall positive news. I think. Um, I just I, changes must continue. Pieces are moving, but I am not 100% sold. Like this has to keep going, right? There has to be um, a proper effort, and I think that after the last earnings call, people were salty with investors were salty with Iger, and he had to do something, and I think that's appropriate. She should have been gone for with. I mean, it's been clear that since she's been the CFO, there's been nothing but you know a downwards trend for Disney. So it's good. Like I think this is positive, news. Nothing against her personally, right? We wish her well, but if you are not good at your job, and again, you're costing the company potentially billions of dollars. It's not like you're bad at your job because you spilled a drink, right? That's totally different.
Yeah.
We're talking about millions of dollars that Disney's losing on. So yeah, man. I guess pieces are moving, stuff's happening. Um, Not 100% sold. We'll see where who takes over. We'll see who comes next. But I think it's a move in the right direction. What do you think?
Yeah, short and sweet. Same reaction as you. This is seems to be a positive thing from based on everything we've heard beforehand. The biggest thing for me is the fact of her being gone now just removes her from that conversation of being the successor. Um, like so long as she was there and Iger was still there, and we know that he's on the clock. I mean, he's only got maybe what a year and a half, maybe two,
Year and a half.
before he hangs it up. So he's on the clock, and definitely that's something we have to keep considering. But knowing that it won't be her, is a big move, is a big thing for the company. Um, hopefully, Disney continues to get together with just other parts of the company because I mentioned to you beforehand outside of Kevin Feige and Bob Iger, everyone else, I don't really know what's going on. I'm not saying they're all horrible. I'm just saying those are the only people that I can look at and go, I think you know what you're doing. You just need to have the right pieces in place, and hopefully the puzzle starts to come together the way it's supposed to. More to come. Very curious. what the plan is
Yeah.
here, but
Well,
man, maybe it'll be Adam Silver. I don't know, man. It'll be the CEO.
well,
I don't know.
here's the thing, right? I guess I can we can continue our Disney What Are You Doing slash
Yeah.
Lucasfilm like the mandatory Lucasfilm rant um uh afterwards. We can probably just uh keep talking about this until the break, and then we can come back and talk Lucasfilm. So
Yeah.
um dude, when I saw Bob show up at the Apple thing, because I watched it live,
Oh, I
I
know.
thought that he was gonna announce it that they're selling. That's what I
So it's
thought.
Apple.
That's
That
what
would
I
have been
thought,
it.
dude. Like other than Bob and Kojima, they were like the only like outside people at the Apple event that
Oh
showed
my
up.
gosh.
And Apple stuff. I mean, who knows? Apple could buy Kojima Productions. I don't think Kojima would mind that, but I've known since the Metal Gear Solid, since the first one, that Kojima's an Apple fanboy, and I've known it for a long time. But,
Sure.
but, but when I saw Bob, it's like, oh, are they selling? I was like, oh no, this thing's gonna be available on Vision Pro. Disney Plus is gonna be available on Apple Vision Pro. Um, and I thought that was gonna be it, but it hints, right. It kind
Hey,
of
that's the
like
thing. It does
it
hint.
does hint,
Yep.
yeah. That
The big fish swim together.
Yep. So that to me, that was the thing, and I guess we're gonna talk about Vision Pro and the whole
Go for it.
the whole it'll burn in your wallet. I thought, dude,
Right.
I'm usually like pretty good at like this pricing stuff, right? Um, we can attest on the podcast when we talk price, and I usually hit it like right in the spot.
Absolutely. Open nose.
I was like, this thing is like 1,500 tops. And then it's like $3,500, dude, for Apple Vision Pro. Like, who is this for? This is not for the average consumer. Like, this is not for you and me, right? This is a specialized sort of consumer that is already invested. Number one, the Apple ecosystem, right? Is like very not only invested, because I'm invested in the Apple ecosystem. I got iPhone, iPad, watch, right, and a MacBook. So I'm there, but I'm not I'm not jumping to get this thing, dude. Like, who is this for? It's cool, right? Like the premise, and I think that all the stuff that they showed was top notch. Like, I was blown away with how good a lot of this stuff that they showed was. It was truly a tool that um, people that work from home, but not just to work from home, right? This is sort of like, I work from home, but I'm in this elevated position where I could take advantage of this device. That would be good. I don't see this having a lot of like entertainment value as a whole, right? Uh, it feels like it's more of a productivity tool more than anything. Kind of like Hololens. Like, remember when Microsoft was showing Hololens with the Xbox One, and nothing ever came out of Hololens because it was just too expensive for the average consumer, and they concentrated on taking Hololens to architects when they're doing building planning and all that. So I think that's kind of like what's going on here. Although you do have the option of using it for entertainment. Not for me, man. It's a no for me, dog. I'm not gonna, you know, I could fix the exterior of my house with $3,500. I could not. I will not be investing on this thing, sir. But what do you think of the device?
Yep. Again, I'm in agreement with you. It looks like a really nice piece of hardware. I was actually very impressed. I did not have a lot of expectations beyond it having similar functionality to what we've seen before, like with Oculus and some other VR headsets. But this taking the VR AR concept and mixing it together and really integrating into the Apple brand was just absolutely awesome. The concept of watching movies on there is the main entertainment function. Like the idea of like saying, okay, you can watch Avatar on here and have the 3D functionality without 3D glasses in essence. And I just would love to imagine what that, like I think maybe we've talked before, like imagine the feeling of like, what if you actually stepped into the movie, having it that close and immersed, you're going to feel like you're in the movie. It's like, that's some cool concept. If it works, I'd love to test something like that out for sure. But like you said, from the pricing, I think this is just one of those, you have to walk before you run. It's like the Mark One with Iron Man, something to get you out of the cave.
Yeah.
I saw a comparison to when the initial first Macintosh ever was publicly launched, dude, way back in the day. It was like $2,500, and this is not 2023. This is back in,
Yeah,
whatever, right?
1979, whenever it came out. Yeah.
Right, whenever it was. And like everyone was saying the same thing back then. Obviously, as time goes on, it adjusted with the times, whatever. Still has been a premium product. I think that's what they're trying to tell us. Our headset is a premium product. It is not going to be in the same class as an Oculus or these other ones.
Yeah.
And they know that there's big money for someone like Bob Iger to be there, for some of the other people that are behind this. You know that they have long-term plans for it. It's fascinating, but yeah, what an event for sure. I think that was funny though, like you said about Bob being there in the relationship with Apple for sure. I think Tim Apple,
Tim Apple.
Tim Apple definitely is having conversation
I was watching it, and Tim was out, right? My daughter was like roaming around the room or something.
Sure.
And I was like, "Oh, it's Tim Apple." And she goes, "Tim Apple, who's that?" I was like, "No, it's a joke."
It's a joke,
It's a
kid.
joke.
Don't worry. Oh, that's good. That's good.
So, yeah, man. I mean, it's cool, right? Dude, the thing that really freaked me out was that you can see, like, if someone walks in the room, they can see your eyes. Like, it turns off
Yes.
the
Yes.
it freaking freaked me out,
And
dude.
the screen like opens up to see, you can see the person
Yeah.
like still like having this whatever's around
Yeah.
you, but that person you can see, they can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
trippy,
It's like that's some dystopian RoboCop thing there.
right? We're in the future, bro. We
Yeah,
are in
we
the
are.
future.
Yeah, we are. It's just like the future's here if you have the money, right?
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
honestly, like, that's
Exactly.
the truth. But it's very interesting. Again, a very compelling device, honestly. But
Yeah, it's fascinating for sure.
you know, not for me. Not for me. I would rather invest it in something else.
Oh
Like I
yeah,
said, it was
yeah.
like,
Not
I
gonna
can
spend it
take care
freely.
of most of my personal finances with just that little amount of money. That's you know liquidity is good, so I'm good.
Smart man. Smart man.
All right, man. Let's take a quick break, and we shall return momentarily. Hey, we're back. Joe, we got I stumbled upon this on Star Wars Theories channel, and um we've been talking about it the last few weeks, right? It was like last time we had the podcast, we talked about being a level-headed fan and not getting your feelings get too personal and get into the personal space of the creatives and the people that are behind Lucasfilm at the moment, right? Um, there's an article floating around. Star Wars Theory covered it, and then I saw a few other Star Wars YouTubers cover it, and it was about Leslie Hetland, the I guess showrunner for the Acolyte, and some comments that she made about um, how I wanna phrase this properly, and I don't want to go through the whole quote. I don't feel like it. Um, and it's basically saying that just because George Lucas created Star Wars, it doesn't mean that the storytelling or Star Wars does not belong to him just because like he created it, right? Um, from a very long time ago, right? George made it clear that if other storytellers wanted to contribute, they were welcome. We saw that with the expanded universe or Legends. We saw it with Spaceballs and Family Guy and all these other shows, Robot Chicken, like all these other shows that use Star
Yeah.
Wars material and made their own thing, right? Um, I kind of, you know, I don't want to say that that we can agree to disagree, right? Because I think that without George, there would be no Star Wars. So, or if
That's a
someone else,
fact.
and if someone else would have come up with a Star Wars like idea, it would not still not be Star Wars because it was George, right? The prequel trilogy was she, disparaged in this sort of conversation. We can all admit that it had their flaws, right? But as time went by, we were able to appreciate the what George was trying to do at that point in time, right? Um, they were a product of its time. I think Episode 3 is better than half of the Disney stuff, if not more, right? Um, and you know, sure, other people can apport and do their own stories, and I think that's totally fine, right? LucasArts did it with Dark Forces and Jedi Knight and all these other stories that George didn't come up with, uh, that were part of the expanded universe now Legends, and that's totally fine, right? But to to have the gall and say that he's not to be held responsible for Star Wars when he alone created it, that's preposterous to me, right? And it brings to the point. I am not watching The Acolyte. I'm I'm not. Out of respect for George, I'm not watching The Acolyte. I'm done. I'm telling you, dude. I'm taking this seriously. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. I'll watch Mando. I'll watch whatever. I'll watch Ahsoka, and I'll watch Mando, and I'll watch Filoni's movie whenever that happens. We'll talk about it later. But I'm not watching The Acolyte. I'm not. I'm done. No. No. You're bringing uh I don't want to say guilty by association, right? But look it up. Who she was before miraculously landing this gig for Star Wars. Um yeah. She can do whatever story she wants. I just don't want to partake in it, and I am not watching The Acolyte. And plain and simple, as someone who, again, Star Wars is its number one thing, love Star Wars. You know, it's like you ever watch that movie with what was it called? With Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore about he was like a crazy like Boston Red Sox fan.
I think I have.
Fever
I know what you're
pitch,
talking
yeah,
about.
fever pitch, yeah.
Yeah.
it's like it's like Red Sox procreating and breathing, right? It's like for me it's like family, Star Wars and breathing, kinda, right? That's my but so honestly, like I love Star Wars. And I would consume everything Star Wars. No more. No more. I'm done, Joe. I'm done. I don't care if this thing gets glowing reviews. Um, I'll watch recaps online and impressions. I will not click on it on Disney Plus. I would rather give um I don't know, the guys over at like previewed on YouTube, which I've followed for a while. I'll watch it with them. I'd rather give them the click and not Disney. But like me going out of my way on a Wednesday morning to just watch it before I go to work, I'm not. I'm done. I'm not gonna watch this thing. So um I don't know if you want to, share your thoughts about whatever's going on over there at Lucasfilm, but that's on top of like Kathleen Kennedy getting like roasted basically by Spielberg premiere. So go ahead, dude. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're good. You're good. See, you get raw and transparent stuff because we're fans and we really care about these properties. If you guys haven't noticed, um, you brought this to my attention because originally I had not heard about this, and then you shared it with me, and then I got to check in, and I get because I wanted to make sure I got a little more context around it. Not gonna lie, I personally did not listen to the podcast she was on, so I only am hearing a snippet, and I'm only judging a snippet, not maybe the whole context of what was fully going on. But I think I get enough of a pulse to kind of see a little bit of where this is at. But really just understanding that she was trying to take the tour theory and say that that is inherently misogynistic and it limits opportunities for other people. Typically only benefits the man at the top to get all the credit and everyone else doesn't. And when I got just breaking down just a certain part of it, it's crazy because a part of what she's saying, you would be like, oh, I understand where you're coming from. Like I could see some of your points, right? Whatever. But the thing is, a lot of the stuff she was saying is fact checked because she decided, instead of just making this as a general statement, she's for whatever reason felt to bring in George Lucas and the original Star Wars into this because she was basically saying how she was doing her research upon just the original like concept art and just original stuff that was being worked on at the time, and just looking at like with Ralph McQuarrie and just the work with some of these people involved early on with Star Wars, just trying to get an understanding of its origins deeper. And which is cool if you have access to work, like, to put this all aside, if I have access to work on something for Star Wars and I get access to like some of these original files and
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
dude, you better be serious. I'd be reading all that
Totally.
stuff.
Totally.
But anyways, I digress. Um, the thing is, when you when it comes to judging, like with the whole auteur theory, and I'm not going to break into that theory as a point, but you can check it on your own, right? And come up with your own feelings about it. People see called it the auteur myth, but when you're basically saying that the director has it gets more of the credit and is considered more of the author than the script writers or anyone else involved, producers or any of the people in the process. I think people are. I think especially someone like even like her, like she's a little bit misunderstanding. Yes, like getting all the credit, you, yes, that could be a little bit misleading because there's many moving parts into what makes something great. But at the same extent, all the failures, a lot of times, this person has to also carry the brunt for, right? Like, if a movie does really bad, they're not going after the writers.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll go after the actor, but most often it's the director that's going to get dragged through the mud.
He had to go through the episode 1 crap, dude.
He had to go through it. And in this situation, although George may not have written everything, it was his original idea. And we have enough information behind the scenes to understand that he really did drive the entire thing.
Oh, totally.
Does that mean that he should take all the credit for Star Wars? No. We thank God for Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill and for Lawrence Kasdan and for all these other people that have been that were a part of these movies. Like the all people really did contribute to making this as great as it is. It was an absolute, amazing thing to have all these incredibly talented people come together to make it. But at the same extent, not to sound like Disney, it all started with one man.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
you know what?
And it's like
You're right.
it's like you're gonna say that Disney World doesn't belong to Walt Disney because he's not the one who's out there being the janitor, and he's not the one who's out there selling tickets at the box
He's not the
office.
gaffer.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. He's not an
yes,
but well, I mean, he was an animator, right?
he was an animator.
And he did voice acting and all this stuff. It's like it's insane. It was like saying, it was like, oh yeah, well, Ralph McQuarrie is as important as George. It's like, well, George, Ralph is important, not as George, because Ralph's job could have been done by someone else.
Right.
George wrote the damn thing, right? And you got to keep in mind that a lot of if you look at all the especially on the original, episode 4 Star Wars, McQuarrie art, it's things that he would sit down with George. He's like, okay, how did this thing look like? And George would tell him, it's like, oh, it's like a metal man with a golden thing and like an antenna and all this stuff. Like George would tell him, and then he would present to George. And you see all those, you see like the Samurai Vader from McQuarrie, and Luke with the oxygen mask, and Chewbacca with the dog face, and all this, this all evolved because George, wanted to evolve it. So George is not an artist; he can't draw, so he needs someone to draw for him, and that's when Ralph comes in, right? So I'm not taking. I love McQuarrie's work, and I'm not taking anything away from him. That's his thing, right? But to sit there and say that Ralph could have come up with all this stuff by himself is absolutely untrue. And
see, I didn't take it that that's what she was saying, though.
I did. And
I understand.
Be, yeah.
I understand. No, I totally hear where you're coming from. I interpret it more as that she was saying, like, with the whole her theory that's like the authoring, all of that's the credit all goes to, like, it's misogynistic because it all goes to him.
Dumb. It's a dumb take.
And everyone else is not getting the credit they deserve for their contributions. And it's like, why is it that you have? I agree, it's a dumb take, because it's like, why do you have to devalue his significance to now lift other people up? Like, that's, I don't know. I just, it comes across insensitive. Like, a lot of what she said, to be honest, didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, I really tried to, and I'm like, it didn't make, I don't know if maybe it just wasn't conveyed through the writings or whatever. So, when you're sitting having a conversation with someone, maybe you interpret things differently than you would through a text or whatever. But no, man, I am very, very confused by it. Like you mentioned, you said you're not going to watch the show. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now,
it's like,
that I have the intention, because it's Star Wars, to watch it.
Yeah.
But I have a 3-episode rule. Usually with Star Wars, it doesn't apply. Whether I like it or not, I just watch the whole thing because it's Star Wars, and I have to. Like, it's just like that's how it goes. But this could be the show that if I start watching episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and I go, oh no, I might be 3 strikes out. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I might love it. I'm gonna give it a chance. Is what I'm saying.
It could be. It could be. It's like going back to the authorships and whatnot. It's like going back to saying Metal Gear Solid. And Hideo Kojima says like, oh, it's like, well, Hideo Kojima is not as important as the person that did the texture work on the game, on the hallway,
I
like on the hallway where you fight, where you meet Frank Yeager the first time, Cyborg Ninja. It's like that person's as important as Hideo Kojima. You see how stupid that sounds, dude?
I know. I
You
know.
know, it's come on. Come
Like I said, it
on,
all
come
start
on.
like it's the Walt Disney thing, right? It all started with this person. Yeah, everyone else was great, but none of these people would have come together and create this thing if it wasn't for them. And
No,
that's why
I
it's a little wild
I'm
to
not
me.
gonna like I freaking like suffered through She-Hulk just
No,
out of
that was
like
rough.
like
Oh
it
my
wasn't
goodness.
even out of spite, right? Maybe I mean maybe I was hating myself.
Yeah, I don't know why I did it to myself. I
Yeah,
should have
I don't
stopped.
I should have stopped. I should have freaking stopped, dude.
That was bad.
And again, we're being level-headed here because
Oh, for sure.
we're not
We're not
calling
personal
names.
jabs or
And no,
anything.
no, no,
No,
no. I mean, we're just saying that
not at all.
what she said at that point in time, right? Because I think this is from like 2019. Like things may have changed, but it's absolute nonsense. It's like it's just, it's
Right. Right.
it's like what the Nick Fury quote from
Yeah.
Avengers. It's like, I respect that this
Given
is
that
your
it's
decision, but
a
given that it's a stupid decision,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to do this. So it's the same
Sure.
thing, right?
Sure.
You're not gonna. uh, and again, the Kojima example is that all right. So let's say it's like, oh, James Cameron didn't come up with Avatar. Like, what about the person that did the texture for the gun that Jake Sully used in the forest in the first movie? That person's as important as James Cameron. Freaking hit me in the head with a bat. Are you just kidding me, dude?
See, here's the thing. They can replace. I hate to say it, these people are replaceable. But
Thank you.
but the original. I hate to
Thank
say it
you.
that way.
Oh,
But
it
without the
sucks, right?
OG,
It's the reality of
you
it.
don't got it. Like
Yeah.
I don't mean to say like to denounce people's skills,
Nope.
people's contributions. I don't mean it like in that
No,
way.
absolutely not.
But they'll get someone else, I assure you, to
Yep.
design, the concept art for Pandora or for, Hoth or whatever
Yep.
project you're working
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. That's a great. The way you presented that's perfect. And I'm not gonna watch it. I'm done. I'm not. I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna click on it.
I'll tell
I'm
you.
not
I'll tell
gonna.
you how it goes.
You tell me how it goes during the
Yeah.
Rule 3. But I'm not. I am. Making it official, Disney, that I love Star Wars. That's my number one thing, and I'm not watching the Acolyte. Um, I totally understand, right? That there's you know there you need to people that work on uh this sort of projects, not only Star Wars but also Marvel and uh, any project that's that there's a large fan base behind it. Lord of the Rings is a great example. Rings of Power. You have to the people running the show. They need to not only be able to be a good director or writer, they need to also love the product and they also need to be a fan of the product, right? I think Ryan Johnson can come up with some really cool stuff. Was he a good choice for Star Wars? No. Right? And that's where we see it, right? I think Chris Terrio does great patchwork on movies. Was he a good choice for Star Wars? No. And that's I don't know what the She-Hulk people did. Were they a good choice for She-Hulk?
It was like their first
Absolutely
time
not.
doing
No.
yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So, not watching it. Tell me how it goes. Rule of 3, and we can go from there. But Joel,
If it ever comes out.
Oh, this thing's it's coming out. It's coming out.
I know,
It's
I
coming
know.
out. You want to talk about the delays?
Sure.
All right, take it over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get my blood pressure down.
Oh my God, this is great. Yeah, so as we all know, there's an incredible writer's strike going on in the world, and unfortunately, due to that, that means there's going to be some delays. I'd say unfortunate. It's really not a huge deal, but it does allow us to get some theorizing going on. Because at this time, Disney was the one that really dropped some big bombshells on moves for different projects. I'm just going to run through a couple of these. So like things like, for example, the live action Moana will actually be released in 2025 now. Okay. But then you have a movie like Deadpool 3 that actually got moved up from November 8th all the way to May 3rd of next year. So that's pretty quick, substantial. So that's interesting. When movies got moved back, that got moved closer. That's on track. Untitled Star Wars movie debuting on December 18th, 2026 now. Avatar 3 is shifted to December 19th, 2025. I don't know if that has anything to do with the writer's strike, though. I suspect when it comes to Avatar, that might be some other things, considering that James Cameron's doing everything. But, some people don't want to give credit to that. So we'll just leave. Avatar tends to get delayed anyways. So yeah, that'll be Christmas 2025. Avatar 4, December 21st, 2029, which that's the crazy one. Like you jump from the fourth movie to a whole nother 4 years later.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the fifth one comes out December 19th, 2031. So that means the final
James Cameron's
Avatar...
still gonna be alive.
Oh my gosh.
How old is James Cameron? All right,
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It's gotta be at least 70, right?
That's a great point. No, I don't think he might be just almost 70. Is he 70?
Oh, he's 68.
Okay, close. Yeah. Jeez, yeah, you're right. He's gonna be kicking. So yeah, 22 years at the 2009 blockbuster. That's crazy. The other ones moving around for Marvel, Captain America: Brave New World is the new title, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I got updated while we were out there.
Yeah. I think that it kind of stinks that they have to make changes, but I think that's a wise change, considering the volatile political climate in this country. So
100%.
yeah.
And
the
marketing.
kooky heads out there is like, well, now they're showing your kids that the new world is coming for them, and all these.
I mean, who knows? That might be like a part of the narrative was kind of like, I don't know. Like maybe that like it was like in a negative light, but just from people will look at the picture and they'll make a judgment,
yeah,
right?
No, totally. Yeah.
Or the title rather in this case. Yeah. Anyways, so that'll be May 3rd, 2024. So that's gonna be our first real MCU movie of next year after the Marvel's end of this year. Sorry, from May 3rd to July 26th, excuse me. Thunderbolts is gonna be instead moved also to December 2024. So that's gonna be a Christmas movie next year. Blade gets moved to February 14th, 2025. Obed, I don't think this movie's coming up potentially. If Mahershala Ali drops, I think this movie's done. I don't be surprised. You heard it here first. Fantastic Four gets moved to May 2nd, 2025. And Avengers King Dynasty is pushed back an entire year all the way to May 1st, 2026. 3 years from now, Obed. So the first Avengers film since Endgame.
That means that there's a recast coming.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
And they're just giving themselves time to work it out. So,
could be.
I mean, if things move forward, right, and there's no recast, that could be bumped up. Potentially.
True, that can get moved.
Yeah, so
it's pushed out enough that they have time to let trials run through, decision-making processes and contracts, whatever, and just narratively. But then the second Avengers, Secret Wars, the big one, that's got moved to May 7th, 2027 at Obed. 2027, dude.
27.
4 years from now.
I'll be almost 50 when that movie comes out.
Hey, you outed yourself. You and James Cameron.
Me and James,
sorry.
Me and my boy Jimmy.
Yep.
Over at the Elk the El Clutch, and
Yeah.
hanging out, sweaty old
Hey.
dudes.
Oh my gosh. So then, Star Wars, right? Game Star Wars film also coming out December 2026. And then you've also got another Star Wars movie coming out in May 2026, and then another one coming out December 17th, 2027. Obed, that means 3 years from now will be the next time we actually see a Star Wars movie, which means, Obed, that would be literally 7 years that we will have gone without a Star Wars film since the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. That got moved
Wow.
because Kathleen Kennedy got let go 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever. It
Oh
was
my
right
gosh.
after the Last Jedi she was fired. You just don't
Yep.
know it, right?
It's her Force Ghost.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Oh
man,
my gosh.
it's clear that if McCarthy's out, Kennedy's out. Like this, like that. That's it's gonna
I
happen.
think so. I think so. I think it's the same thing like with Jonathan Majors where they let the things play out. I think it's like, let's let the box office play out for
Yeah,
Indy,
yeah.
and then they can use that as like, thanks, but
We
see ya.
could. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's my guess. But at the same extent, the only reason why she would not be is just because of the contracts, like litigation on the contract. Because she has how many more years left on her contract?
August of next year, I think.
And if those other movies are pushed out all the way to 2026,
Yeah,
that's the best case scenario because then you can just kill those projects and completely, or kill a couple of them or whatever, and let someone new come in and do shit. Like, let's say, for example, it was Dave Filoni. His project still moves forward,
yeah.
but then you say, hey, Taika, whoever else is Ryan, whoever else those other untitled ones are, say, sorry, guys. I'm sorry, not James Mangold, sorry, like his project, whatever, and say,
Yeah.
we're going another way. I don't know. That's my
Did,
theory. We'll see.
yeah, we didn't talk about it, but what do you make of the rumors saying that Star Wars is going to get sold back to George?
That will not happen.
I don't think so.
That will not happen.
I don't think that Disney is going to sell like an IP by itself. Like it's already a
Not
core.
yet, at least.
Yeah. Oh no 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 no. Yeah. I mean, they will sell businesses, right? They'll sell divisions like ESPN or you know, it's things like that. Like even Hulu, right? That all that could get sold, but not intellectual property. Like
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen. Yeah. Um, it's very weird. Well, your boy Doom was talking about it. It's like his
Oh,
sources said that
oh my
that George
gosh.
is buying Star Wars back, and
Take the mask off,
and
buddy. Take the mask off.
he's been 100% on point since the beginning.
He's been so accurate.
Irrefutable record.
I,
I think we
dude,
have a better record at predicting all this stuff than that 90% of like the Star Wars slash Disney YouTubers out there and the haters.
well, we can back up our stuff without going, I just read something or I have a source that's make believe on Reddit, that we can actually come to each other and say, you know what? We understand how the industry moves a little bit. We've been watching this for a long time. And then we make sensible predictions based on these things. It's not rocket science. We don't need to be coming up with things that we want to hear. Do we want to hear the news that Kathleen Kennedy is gone in 2 weeks when Indiana Jones comes out? Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to come out here and make up a fake story that it's already written in the sand and then it doesn't happen. Like we're not crazy like that.
Yeah. Or are we?
Maybe you.
Oh, oh man. Um well, we got a ton of video games to cover
Oh
here,
yeah, let's
but
go.
Joel, you wanna talk about Tanakh Werder real quick? Or
Yes,
okay.
we can just say real quick. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
look,
yeah. Yeah.
it's unfortunate, that it's in the headlines, but it's something we gotta be fair. We've talked about Ezra Miller, we talked about Jonathan Majors, and now unfortunately, Tenoch Huerta, that's how you say his name, I believe, playing Namor in Wakanda Forever, and supposedly still supposed to be in Kang Dynasty, according to Destin, the director from Shang-Chi, is supposed to be working on that movie as a director. Did confirm that, so we know that Namor will be in the future, and the actor playing him, unfortunately, has been accused of sexual misconduct from an ex-girlfriend. This is a huge, huge allegation because it comes from somebody who is like well known in Mexico, very, very respected musician. So yeah, it's a big deal having these accusations being made against him, with the information coming out from what her sides of the story. He has put out a statement as well. I'm the kind of person that says innocent until guilty, but that doesn't mean that I just dismiss an accusation. Let the stuff roll out. I hope it not to be true. Anyone hopes this stuff to be true. It's not looking to me like something that is going to be detrimental, because the stories are a little bit sounds like resentment and stuff. The people who are saying that, oh, it's for a cash grab or something, that's not the answer. I'm sorry. This lady is literally super successful, is like award winning, whatever, like in her town. She ain't doing this for money. If that was the case, she would have done this during Wakanda Forever when it came out, and then put it out to make it a PR stunt to purposely, get paid off or something. I don't think that's the case. I think there might be something maybe more personal here. That's just me speculating. But no, I think so long as we don't have like an Ezra Miller situation where you're caught in 4K with some videos doing some things, or
Yeah.
or overshooting or something like that.
Yeah.
I think this will have its moment, and we'll see where it goes. Right, we'll
Yeah.
have to see where it goes.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what you said. We just gotta, this one's gonna, fizzle away, I think. I
Yeah,
think his statement was very strong.
for
Like
sure.
his statement, saying that, he has receipts of like people that they know, that they knew them, that, during their relationship, that they can attest, right? Um, and, the way that he worded his relationship with her was, yeah, his statement was strong. And you can tell because we have not heard anything after he put out the statement. It's been like, no, not
Oh
even
yeah, oh
outlets
yeah,
are covering anymore.
yeah.
So, um, yeah, I think it's more of a, I guess poor choice of words from her. I mean, I'm not saying that it's true or not.
Yeah.
Um,
No idea.
and I read the statement in Spanish too, just to, it was
Yeah,
like, I
you
gotta
know,
read it
you
in
know.
Spanish just to get context in Spanish, right?
Mm,
Um, it's it's not, it's very generic, like
right,
it's a
right.
very like all-encompassing statement. Like when you got, like when you, if you want to be like really exaggerated about something and you say it's like, oh, I can eat a cow, right? you
Sure.
can't you can't eat a cow. But that's kind of like what she was trying to say. um but we already see it, that it's kind of fizzling out. I Again, we don't have the details. I'm not saying that who's right or who's wrong, right?
Hmm.
But it seems to me that way.
Right, I agree. Just
And
observing.
exactly, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see where this ends up. But yeah, hopefully they can figure this out. There's receipts. Unfortunately, in Jonathan Major's case, there are receipts, but
Right,
the opposite, right? So,
right.
and but in Astro's case too, right? But yeah, we wanted to be fair, cover it since we talked about Miller and we talked about Majors. So, yeah, hopefully this can get resolved in a private way, and there's uh, statements correcting what was initially said, because I think it seemed to me like it was like blown out of proportion. And like you said, I don't know, man. I've been married for 20 years, dude. I'm telling you some crazies, man.
Oh, you know, you
And
know.
I know, man. It's
A- And the thing is, dude, like it's a shame when you hear situations like this, because like in this situation, like this guy did a great job as Namor, and he really is. I think I really liked him a lot as that, and Jonathan Majors really liked him as Kang. And look, after seeing The Flash, which the movie's out now, and unfortunately, I hear they did not fix the. I thought from the edited version that I saw they would have fixed the CGI. It sounds like they didn't, so that's going to be
mm,
tough. But anyways, Ezra did a great job in the performance. As the Flash. I gotta give credit, right? So you just hope in the situation that it's not true, because you do want to see this person carry on, but we just don't know. We'll continue to keep updated if anything comes out of it, but if nothing comes out of it, then
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, we're
what
not.
is it is, yeah.
You know,
As he
we'll
said, she said.
exactly. Yeah, we'll see where it ends up, and hoping he can stick around. I think from what I've seen and the interviews that he's done, it doesn't hit me. And I've seen interviews in both English and Spanish with him.
Oh
It
yeah,
it doesn't it doesn't.
yeah.
You could tell, like you could
Well, like in the
tell.
Jonathan situation, they went back to like high school, like college buddies of his, right? With
Yeah,
the Ezra situation, they have, again, we have actual decision. We don't have anything else to go off of, so it's just it's a hard.
it's
I don't
hard.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No. I hope everything gets clarified. You know, I mean, if that's the case, right, and he made some mistakes, and you
Sure.
know, then yeah, if Disney wants to go ahead and go through a recasting process again for another uh Marvel hero, I mean, it's not the first time, right, Rhodey? It's not their first rodeo. Oh,
Rodeo, Hulk,
oh, yeah, right.
Hulk,
Yeah,
remember
well,
Hulk?
Was before they actually. True. Rhodey got in the middle, right? It was Marvel before Disney too,
Mm-hmm.
so that was done
Yep.
before them.
Paramount.
Yeah, we shall see. So let's take a quick break. We'll be back with gaming stuff.
My God, my God.
You got. Yeah, all right, guys, we're back. All right, so Julia, we're really excited about that Xbox show. 'Cause you couldn't contain yourself.
Oh man,
Um,
I already bought my Series X. It's ready to go.
so we'll go some of the announcements we because they you know what? Let's start with Xbox. Right. They during their show, we're not going to go in order. We're going to talk about the Xbox show. We're going to talk about Summer Games Fest, and let's not talk about Capcom. um, but the I think the biggest thing, other than Starfield, right? That's their thing. But the biggest thing to come out of the Xbox event was that we finally got our first look. It's a CG trailer, but first look at Star Wars Outlaws, and it looks like Assassin's Creed in space, right? Based on the premise.
Absolutely.
I know that you're in for it. I know that some people started. I caught it halfway through the trailer, dude, and it's like, oh, people are gonna start yelling about this, and truly enough, you know, the fanboys and started yelling that at the screen that it's a female lead on the game. I don't care, but it looks interesting. Like it looks like it has a little bit of everything, a little bit of shooting, a little bit of stealth, a little bit of space battles. Um, do you know who in Ubisoft is involved with this project, or is
The
it like a
guys on the
collect
Division,
the
they worked
guys
on
of
the
the
Division.
division? Okay,
Yep, both we worked on the Division too.
Okay, cool.
Yep,
Yeah, Division was good. I never played it,
absolutely.
but I heard it was good. I heard good things about it. So
It should work well online. If there's gonna any functionality around that, we'll see.
yeah,
It's open world, but we'll see if they have anything with that.
supposedly they have like a wanted or Nemesis like system
Right.
to the game. So yeah, it looked fine. It looked good. So
Yeah, I got literally a text, dude, from TJ, our friend from the
the
show,
official unofficial
uh,
third
third member of
member of
Milo
Military.
Time, was like, "Hey, have you seen this thing? This looks really awesome." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it looks like a lot of fun." So I'm excited. I've seen most of the reaction around it has been interest and intrigue. It's Ubisoft, so it's going to be nice to have a little different flavor from our EA games that we've had, and I think they did a great job with Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor. Now I haven't finished it yet, so I look forward to finishing it out. Hearing your sentiment sounds like it's at least good,
Yeah,
so we'll
yeah,
take
it's
that.
good.
Um, but yeah, it's nice to see Ubisoft to get a crack at it, and then it's the good old people working from the studio, the publishers that give us Assassin's Creed, from the creators of the Division. Sign me up. Gameplay was 10 minutes long. Looked like the aerial battle elements looked like it was at least comparable. It was good. It
Yep.
was competent. So that's always been a concern of mine in Star Wars games, but yeah, man, look forward to checking this out. This is coming out next year, so we got plenty of time, much more to see. But yeah,
Yeah, no, it looked good. So it's I think that out of the Xbox stuff, that was to me the highlight. Um, Also, there's see, I don't know. This leaked out a few days before the Xbox event, but there's a Persona 3 remake coming out. Am I gonna play it? I don't know. I
mm,
already know what happens in Persona 3. I don't know if I'm ready to invest 120 hours in a game. Um, but that's the thing. It looks very good. Persona 3 it's known to be, you know, compared to 4 and 5, is a little bit darker when it comes to the story, more existential. A lot of people like that game a lot. Um, so that's a big one. But we've heard it like this leaked out, trailer
sure.
leaked out a few days before the event. So just covering it real quick. Um, the other thing that was pretty interesting to me was the Capcom game Path of the Goddess. Um, that reminded me a lot of remember the Onimusha games on PS2.
Hmm.
That reminded me a little bit of that, where it was more of an action game with a static camera. You got to be more strategic with your gameplay. Looks like it's very like Japanese, like folklore heavy inspired. So it's like whole like you know uh, the yokai and all this other like forest creatures and spirits from Japanese culture. So that looks good. Can't wait to see a little bit more of that. They showed the same trailer at the Capcom event. Again, the Capcom event, they didn't have anything new. We're not even going to talk about it. It's dumb. They had a couple things that they announced, but I
Sure.
really don't care. But they did announce, Joe, a 1 terabyte black edition of the Xbox Series S.
Look good.
Do you know the price?
That's the issue.
Because for an extra $50, you can buy a PS5.
Right.
Yeah,
Why would
the
you?
PS5 digital. Yeah.
Right.
So
350.
there's like why would you
They should have bundled it.
they it should replace the original. Should have been the
Yeah.
299.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Um
Just go for it. Yeah.
yeah, totally. But it looks good. Like it looks nice, and you have a 1 terabyte storage. If you're looking for an entry level console that you can get Game
Oh my
Pass
gosh.
and put,
Entry
it's
level.
entry level. It's entry level, dude.
Oh my
We gotta
god.
be we gotta be straight
Homer has
up.
the gloves off today.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the same price as a Switch OLED. I would still get the Switch OLED over it.
Oh my god.
It's an entry level console, Joe. It's
He's
true, man.
right.
You can't even
You're right. You are right.
like did I Survivor doesn't even run Reflections on that game. It's like an RE4 runs iffy, and yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it is what it is. I would rather get a PS4 than get a Series S.
Oh my. Whoa. No chill,
Dude,
man.
honestly, PlayStation fanboy over here. No, but
He's wearing the shirt, guys. He's
yeah,
getting the checks.
yeah, 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 right. Totally. I'll get a PS-
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Cause
I'll
like,
get a PS4 and get a 1 TB SSD and upgrade the hard
my
drive.
goodness, this dude is just.
It's $50 for an SSD.
He is clowning on him. Oh, just dunking on these guys. My goodness, Obed don't care.
Mm-mm.
No, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Cause I mean, like, we, as much as I would have interest in having a Series S. I look at the price, I look at the value, and I go, eh.
Yep. Yeah, man. So, the other game that kind of caught my eye is Clockwork Revolution. That was gave me Bioshock vibes. That's also going to be available on PC. I mean, if I wanted to play that, I'd probably play it on PC. So that was it, man. And then that 45-minute thing on Starfield. That why is this game seem so boring to me, dude? I'm sorry, guys. You know, and this is the whole Bethesda thing, and I get it. That's their thing, and maybe that's why this game has never clicked with me. It's just that it just feels like it's a chore, and
Mm,
you know,
mm.
I don't want games to feel like a chore. Like Zelda has a lot of stuff that you got to do, and here and there, and build thing, and do this thing, and climb this other thing. But it not, other than climbing, nothing really feels like a chore.
Yeah.
And now you have options to like climb faster if you would need to. So I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. It's like these games are time sinks, and I'm ready to move on from time sink games. And you know, other than Zelda, I'm good. It's like that game's so good that it's just fun, right? Also, I saw beams out there saying, I was like, oh, people complaining about this game running at 30 frames per second, about Starfield running at 30, and bought Zelda no problem. It's like, dude, it's like Nintendo's not out here saying we build the most powerful console ever,
No, not at all.
so you can
Not at all.
run your games at 30. So whatever, man. It's fine. It's apples and oranges when it comes to like Switch and the Xbox. But at the end of the day, dude, Nintendo has proven that graphics don't matter. And
Nintendo gets what gaming's all about.
yeah,
Really.
they do get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Summer Game Fest. Summer Game Fest was also quite like spectacular, with the exception of that freaking trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh my god, dude. It's like I'm ready. I'm ready. This is early 2024. I'm ready. This looks insane, and this story looks like it's gonna go like nuts. And remake was very good, and it went places, and this looks like it's gonna go even further in. It's man, the iceberg is there, and we're just starting to get to like underwater now. So I can't wait. I can't wait. That 16 is coming out next week, dude. I'm really excited for that game. That game looks incredible. But like 7 Remake, dude, is special. I really, really enjoyed that game, and I'm very much looking forward to this one. But anything
Yeah,
else
yeah.
that caught your eye from Game Fest?
Yeah, I mean, they had that Lord of the Rings Return to Moria game, whatever. That was like, oh, that's interesting. You know, everything else was pretty standard. We also got the release date, Obed, for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was cool. It's October 20th. Am I
October
right to say
20th. Yep.
this? Yep. So yeah, you know
Pre-
that your boy here is.
yeah. Pre-orders go live tomorrow. So that's why pre-orders are not. It's not. That's why pre-orders are not there. But pre-orders go live tomorrow. There's supposed to be like a deluxe edition for 80. I heard.
Ooh, my
So I
pockets,
think no, I'm
man.
sorry, 90, 89.99.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, 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 yeah. So it's gonna be like the regular versions is 70, $20 extra for the deluxe, and the collector's like what, like 320? So
Yeah.
it's something really, yeah. But that
No.
statue's supposed to be pretty big. It's supposed to be like a 14-inch statue or something
Yeah.
of Venom. So yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, I mean, stuff happens, stuff got announced. Alan Wake 2 got a a little gameplay, um, uh, I guess reveal. Sonic Superstars looks good. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah,
So
I saw that
a
one.
2D, a
Mm,
2.5D Sonic that you know that they made it to feel like the old school like 2D Sonics. So that looks good. I showed it to my daughter. And she was like, "Oh, that's cute. That's good." Um, Sandland. So Sandland's basically the new manga by Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball. So it's getting a game. That's also getting an anime that's coming out later. I think August, if I'm not wrong.
yeah.
So yeah, there's stuff happening. So Prince of Persia looks cool. Lost Crown. Um, and then Mortal Kombat 1 got the full gameplay reveal, which I kind of was right on some of the things, like the cameos were assists, but it's not a tag team game. It's still a single player with an assist, and yeah, and it is seems to be a full, I guess, reimagining of the story from the first game. So
Mm.
yeah, it looks good. It's Mortal Kombat, so people are gonna be in for the fatalities and all that. Very gruesome stuff. If you're into that, Street Fighter is more of my jam, so I'll probably stick with that until Disney decides to make a proper MVC. So yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah, nothing else happened. But we do want to give a shout out to the guys over at Arcade Monsters in Oviedo. We were able to go to their location a couple of weeks ago, right? Spent some time there with again TJ, friend of the show, and Tony, friend of the show, and had a pretty good time. Took some pictures. Pictures are out there. Jill and I posting like two nerds playing arcade games. It was a good time. Good time. That's if you are really into like anything nerdy, like video games, comics, anything like that, dude. That's because that was your first time there, right?
That was my first time there and I loved it.
It's so good.
I
Like
could
it,
have stayed there a whole like all day,
you
dude.
could,
Pretty much did, but
yeah,
I could have been there even longer, dude.
yeah, you could. Like it's such a great place, man. Just to go in and hang out, and it's not too expensive, and you still have a, an incredible selection of games,
Yeah,
and areas where you can just sit down and relax and hang out and take it all in, and it's such a great location. Which by the way, they're opening their biggest location, I guess the biggest arcade in Florida, right?
that's
Over
right.
in
It's coming soon.
yep, over on International Drive. And that's coming soon, and hopefully we can make it out there and check it out.
Absolutely.
That'll be cool.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's what we got. So if you want to go ahead and wrap it up,
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, thanks so much for sticking with us for this episode. We're glad to be back. We want to encourage you all to stay subscribed to the podcast. Make sure you're subscribed on the podcast platform of your choice, places like Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon Music. Check us out, follow us, subscribe to us there. Write a review on the podcast platform that you're listening on. That really helps us out and spreads the word with others. We also ask you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where we're really trying to grow it as much as we can. And thank you to those who have subscribed and have stuck with us. We want to encourage you guys, share it with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. We really want to continue to grow it out there. Hit the like, hit subscribe. That really helps support us. We're not asking you to send us money in the mail or subscribe to a Patreon or anything like that. We're just asking for you to hit that subscribe, hit that like button, really help us out and give us that support and that boost that we need. Also, if you would follow us on social media @NoLoadTime, that's @NoLoadTime, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. All those social handles you see down below if you're watching the video version. We also are on Twitch. That's no load time altogether. No load time altogether on Twitch. We broadcast live the recordings of the show there. Maybe some gameplay when it gets special. I don't know. Stay tuned. Also, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you can send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And maybe, just maybe, we'll even talk about what you sent in on a future episode. With that being said, we can't wait to be with you guys next time.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.